Hey everyone! So today I am going to do a doula Q&A. Actually, I didn't really get that many questions about the doula business. Like, people seem to like my regular Ask Danielle's better, but I'm gonna go ahead and just give you guys my at least 5 tips I have for starting out on pursuing to become a new doula. So my first tip is to get in contact with other doulas in your area. Start studying the other doulas websites. I just got in contact with the very first person who was recommended on Google, and I had a meetup with her and another doula, and they were both planning on doing like sort of a monthly doula gathering in Munich at the time. We met at just a regular restaurant. I asked them so much questions. I had like a whole list of questions, and they were both super open and lovely. And I think you will find that in a doula community, it's not going to be like very competitive. It's very family-like, and we're all trying to help each other out because we do work closely together with backing each other up, and backups are a huge important detail when it comes to starting a doula business. So having a network of friends who are doulas is just so important, and it can be a very emotionally straining job, and also psychologically and time-wise. Sorry if you hear crying once in a while. Hubby's looking after them right now, and he's not doing a very good job. He's busy doing some projects in the basement. My next tip is to just go for it. Now, this seems like kind of a boring tip, but I'm telling you, I have procrastinated on the idea of becoming a doula for a long time. I was always just kind of waiting for the right kind of circumstance to fall into my lap, but it just got to a point where I was like, you know what? I'm tired of waiting for the perfect moment to just decide to go for it. A lot of it was just nervousness of starting something new. A lot of it was nervousness if I could actually pull off being a doula. So I just decided to like really just go into it like with like my hands on the horns here. Like, it was pretty spontaneous how I decided. I did start, like I said, by contacting other doulas. I just put up a post and somebody was really interested in my services, and she had interviewed a whole bunch of doulas in the city, and she connected with me. I connected with her. Well, we all connected as a group with the partner as well, and I was really surprised to get my first clients so incredibly easily. My third tip would be to set up a Facebook page. Obviously, a website is incredibly important when it comes to setting up your doula business, and I would recommend it be professional. But just for starting out, I would recommend first just getting on Facebook and connecting with all kinds of groups in your area, like childbirth education classes, chiropractors, every birth forum you can find. You just want to show people that you are active, and you can come up with your logo name and everything, and make sure that everything seems like it's got some sort of alignment to what you want. It doesn't have to be all set in stone and ready straight away, but it's good to get those ideas cracking in your head, and Facebook is an excellent way to connect. As a matter of fact, I've gotten so many requests from my Facebook, more than from my website even, and you can connect with so many people who maybe even didn't want a doula to start with. They may have just wanted childbirth education classes, but if you can present yourself as having valuable services, they will likely be very interested in a doula. Not always, but they might want to have a doula. Don't be pushy or anything like that. But I think Facebook is a really good way to go, and you can see all kinds of events that are happening in your area, of ideas of where you can find potential clients. Facebook is amazing. Fourth tip, and probably should be further up on the list, but this is just how it came to my mind, is choosing an organization of which you would like to certify with, or if you even want to certify at all. I personally like the idea of getting certified. I am being certified through Doula International, which is one of the largest international and American actually organizations to certify with. And in order to do it, it's a very hands-on kind of training. You do have a book requirements list. I can go into more detail and give you guys a review of what I've found that I liked and disliked about certifying with them. So far, there's been more pros than cons. They have a 3-day workshop, and you can find one in your area. And if you're in the States, you're probably going to have an easier time than you would in Europe. But they did happen to have one in Wiesbaden in September in Germany, and I just traveled up there by train. And they also had some in the UK, which I was thinking about attending, but it was way cheaper to do it in Wiesbaden. And yeah, the course is probably the bulk of the cost of the whole training, but it was really worth it. I had a great experience. It was like my first mommy escape in a long time. And I felt like I kind of had to have a little bit of a mini study time, and it was so much fun. It was really hands-on training, not super boring, let's look at a book all day kind of training. There was a lot of open conversation. So yeah, finding an organization that suits you. You can even find organizations that don't require you go to a course. Like I believe I have a couple doula friends who have done all sort of course and study work, but I personally prefer more hands-on training. My fifth and final tip is pricing wisely. Now, I would really talk to your doula sisters about pricing because your area likely has a certain price range. I typically don't go under, for instance, I personally don't go under 500 euro. I do allow monthly installments, but if you have some doulas who charge, I mean, it's okay to have a bit of variety and range in which doulas charge, but it can be very, very tricky on the doula community if you start charging significantly under other doulas, not just because you're going to be taking all those clients, you're going to be setting unrealistic expectations of what doulas cost in your area. And if you ever want to up those prices, you're going to have a harder time doing that. So I would recommend not starting off too low. And I think actually the more reasonable you price your services, the more people are going to value your work and value your time and trust that they're getting a good service. I do price a little bit lower than a lot of doulas in my area. I would just say price wisely, but definitely if you have a family who can't make ends meet and really, really want a doula, because I don't believe doulas are only for the wealthy, you can try to negotiate as well as, you know, allow monthly installments and things like that. So I hope you found these tips helpful. Again, like I said, if you want to become a doula, please just go ahead and get out there and go for it. It's gonna be scary, it's gonna be something new, but you will likely find, I mean, if you have a hunch that you're going to like being a doula, you're likely going to like being a doula. It's a pretty cool job. And if you guys would like more videos about the doula business, just feel free to let me know. I was thinking about doing a pros and cons video next. And yeah, give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye.